What's going on, guys? Joey Franzo with Flex Training Systems here, and today I want to talk to you guys about the best belts for powerlifting, for heavyweight lifting in general. Just kind of go through my experiences with each product and some of the things to look out for when you are looking for a belt, shopping for a belt. Belts can range anywhere between $50 to $250, maybe even close to $300 depending on where you live, paying for shipping and all that. So I'm just going to try to touch on some of that so you guys can get the most bang for your buck. Thank you guys so much for all the likes and all the new subs over the last couple weeks. That being said, let's get right into the video. Alrighty guys, so here we are. I got 4 belts for you today, even one that all the way from down under, and I'm gonna go over my experience with each one, kind of going from left to right. And here we go. All right, so first we got, this is a Best Belts single prong. Cool thing about Best Belts is they come pre-broken in. The only thing that sucks about Best Belts is they don't have levers. So if you're into levers, that's already gonna be a no-no for you. Very comfortable belt, doesn't hurt at all. It's very soft all around. But it can get very, very tight. It's made out of, cowhide, which is pretty much the best material that I have found when it comes to choosing a belt. I really like this belt. I've used it for big squats. I now currently use it for bench. I've used it for deadlifts also. If you like to arch pretty big on the bench, like if you have a crazy arch, I like this belt because it allows you to get into position, and it can still provide that support. And if you know me, you know that I absolutely believe that you can get a benefit out of benching with a belt. For most people, that's a whole nother video entirely. This is a 13 millimeter. I prefer 13 millimeter if you are kind of a bigger dude, bigger person, or maybe a small person but you have a little bit of squish. 13 millimeters is going to help prevent you from spilling over so much and just give you a little bit more pressure. Really enjoy this belt. If you like, it's super easy to put on, and it was the only thing that we had that was really adjustable besides the double prong when this guy didn't exist. So a really good belt. They used to be $80 1,000 years ago, but now they're like 100 something. I enjoy Best Belts. The thing that sucks about it right now is that I compete in IPF, and we don't know. Like, apparently they're not legal this year because of something, that there's some sort of misunderstanding. But the Arnold's in 6 weeks, and I bench with this belt, and I would like to continue benching with it. So hopefully something changes between now and then. But if not, that kind of sucks. That a belt it's the same specs as any IPF legal belt. It's just this particular brand. Although I don't know how they're going to tell the difference because the Inzer single prongs are like literally exactly the same all around. So they're very, very hard to tell the difference between the two belts. So very good belt. Runs for like $100 plus shipping. Comes pre-broken in. They have 13 millimeter, they have tapered belts, whatever. You really can't go wrong with Best Belts if you want a solid pronged belt, whether that's a single prong, double prong. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that belt. Next one here is the good old trusty Inzer. Well, I say trusty, but we'll go into that in a second. Inzer belts, I remember many, many moons ago when that guy Matt Ogus, everybody knows Matt Ogus, when he was starting to blow up, him and his buddy Chris, I just remember them in the gym. I think they had a blue one and a red one. That was when this belt really exploded in popularity. Matt is responsible for just kind of the reason why people bought Rebands is because of Matt Ogus. Like, nobody would buy Rebands if they didn't watch his videos and if he didn't get big and popular. But yeah, so this belt, 13 millimeter Inzer. Inzers in general are very, very stiff. They don't come pre-broken in. It's a really good belt. The belt itself is made out of all cowhide, if you can see in there. I don't know if the camera will focus, but that kind of tan looking material, that's cowhide. Very tough, sturdy material, lasts a really, really long time. The belt itself is a fantastic belt. If you're a small person, 13 millimeter Inzers might chew you up for a little bit until you break them in. After you break them in, you should be good to go. Now I'm going to talk about this lever. This lever, I know numerous people that have broken this lever. It's usually right around here. This very thin metal part can break pretty easily. When I actually wear the belt, it doesn't close all the way. Like, see how that, kind of from the side, see how that's all the way in? It kind of sits on me like that. So, I mean, it hasn't opened on me. It's opened on me once before benching. It only happens on bench. I don't know why it doesn't happen on squat or deadlifts. If it happened on those two, I'd probably die. Apparently, you know, people have claimed to have broken them just from bracing. I lent an Inzer belt to one of my buddies, 10 millimeter, and he just, like, he threw the belt and this thing snapped. So, I mean, they will replace it, but you're gonna have to pay for shipping, and this thing's kind of heavy. Other than that, Inzers are pretty good belts. They used to be cheaper. They're like 125 now, 125, depending on the kind that you get. I would say it's reliable for the most part. I like them. I like Inzers. If I had to choose between this one and that one, I'd say they're both good at their own thing. They do different things for me. And just like with all these belts, it's going to be personal preference. But if you're a bigger guy and you want something sturdy like this, then you're going to want to go with this. Or if you have a ton of dollars, a ton of monies laying around, then this guy right here is going to be the next one up. So, you know, the SBD belt came out and it was all the hype. And I would say that it lived up to that hype. It does what you want it to do. It's a heavy duty belt, very similar to the Inzer. It feels really, really nice on the inside. Some people complain about it chewing them up. It didn't chew me up at all. Again, I'm a thicker dude, so I didn't really have any issues with that. I don't know if you guys can see in there. It looks dark, but it's actually tan inside. It is made of cowhide on the inside, and then they got this nice suede and then this leather on the outside. So, all right, so the buckle is going to be the main difference between the two belts, the Inzer and this belt. It's a lever, but it's an adjustable lever. So you're getting kind of the two belts fused together to make this kind of like super belt. It's an awesome belt. It's very bulky though. If you're a small person, depending on the way your body is, like where your hips are and how everything is put together, it's gonna hurt. You know, my girlfriend can't wear it because she's tiny. She uses I think she's using a Best Belt single prong right now, or it might be an Inzer, but regardless, it's a single prong. It's a little bit more flexible. This thing is like super, super stiff. When you first get it, after a while, you can really break it in. And I have noticed, I don't really have it on mine, but this right here can get very crinkly. Like if you flex it a lot and if you're trying to break it in, it gets crinkly. I mean, nobody's gonna care about how your belt looks. You know, when you're lifting, I mean, some of you might care, but that's something that I did notice on these belts. The buckle is like indestructible. I've thrown this thing across the gym. I've dropped it, stepped on it, just fucking done whatever I could to it, and it held up. It's also got a lifetime warranty. You know, if this thing ever breaks, you can just hit them up and they will replace it for you. I think the lever itself is like $100, so that's like half of what you're paying for. This is a pretty cool invention. Sorry about the camera angle there. Pretty cool invention. I like this belt. It's a good belt. You can use it for all three. It's not going to have as much give to it like the Inzer or the other belt. After you break the Inzer in, and then the Best Belts belt, they're gonna have a little bit more give than this guy. But you know, if you want something convenient, fast, that's gonna last you a long time, then you know, and you cut weight a lot, and you like to adjust the holes, then this guy's gonna be probably the only belt you'll need to get. It's always good to have a backup in case something happens, and then you don't have to train without a belt for a while. All right, so that's it for those three. Now we're gonna come over here to this Iron Tanks belt. I'm gonna tell you guys a little story. I'm still a big fan of Lane. I like Lane Norton. He's a good guy. He's helped inspire me. He's helped, kind of, I remember watching him compete at the Arnold, and I was like, oh, I want to do the Arnold. So I saw him using an Iron Tanks belt, and the dude was hyping the shit out of the belt. And I gave into the hype, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get one. I want to see what the hype's all about. And then I can tell other people about it, right? Like you guys. So I buy an Iron Tanks belt, and it's different than the one that Lane has, right? Now, they came out with another model, but their website, like, the description was the same. And I explained that to them in the email. And, they're like, oh, it's an older model, I said, you know what, that's fine. Like, if you guys don't have that one, that's cool. The size was wrong. So I was like, let me get the right size. Now, I guess I'll talk about the good first. The good thing about this belt was that the buckle that I don't have here, I don't know where it is. It's in my trunk somewhere. It's a sturdy buckle. I like it, but like the Inzer, it's a little bit more expensive of a buckle, but it doesn't close all the way. And it looks like it's some sort of like mechanical issue with the buckle itself. Like it just didn't close all the way. It looked like it could close, but you would have to cut part of the belt out in order to make it close. So I didn't really like that at all. Also, like I mentioned cowhide before. This material in here is like some sort of foam thing. The actual belt, I mean, it feels alright. It's like a nice suede, but it's like a foam, some sort of synthetic wannabe cowhide. And then there's like literally, I don't know if you guys can see it, there's the black part in there, right here. It's like a plastic. And I talked to the guy about it, and he's like, yeah, we put that in so the belt wouldn't, like, basically like keeps it, see how it kind of stays like that? It prevents it from kind of rounding and forming to your body, which it does kind of, but I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like the material. I don't like how, like right here, this plastic is sticking out. It's like, I don't want plastic in my belt, you know what I mean? Like plastic isn't gonna mold to your body. Also, I've like worn it like 3 times, and it's already starting to come out. I don't know if you guys can see that, it's not focusing. But yeah, so I mean, this belt was like the same price as an Inzer. Actually, it was a little bit more than an Inzer because of shipping and all that stuff. But the description was what killed me, because it was identical to the Inzer. It was like, I even called them, and the dude's like, yeah, dude, it's cowhide. It's cowhide. You can even see there that I had to punch my own hole. I think I made my own holes in this thing because it wasn't fitting me right. But the description said cowhide. I don't feel any cowhide or see any cowhide here. I don't, maybe I could be wrong. It could be some sort of like weird cowhide, but this plastic is killing me, man. It just makes the belt feel completely different than what it's supposed to be. I don't like it. I just don't like this belt when I used it. Some people like it. I mean, I don't know anyone that does, but Lane liked it when he had it, so maybe his was special. So yeah, I'm gonna just pull these guys up here real quick. Basically, when it comes down to what belts I use and what I would recommend. So for squats, I use this guy right here, the SPD belt. I like it a little bit better than the Inzer because I know it's not going to open up on me, and the buckle's not going to break. For bench, I really like this belt because I can still maintain my arch and it can give me the support that I want. And then for deadlifts right now, I'm using this guy. I used to use this one, and I might go back to it, but I don't know if it's going to be legal. If this turns out, not IPF approved, I can't talk right now, I'm going to just use this guy for everything. The SPD belt pretty much does everything you want it to do. Like I said, it might not fit you okay because it's a big belt. It's a heavy duty belt. If you're a smaller dude, smaller female, I would definitely borrow it from a friend first before you drop all those dollars. One more thing I wanted to talk about. I don't actually have the belt here, but the lifting large belts, they're like $50. They look exactly like the Inzer on the website, right? They look identical to the Inzer, and when I was a pup many moons ago, I'm like, oh damn, dude, look at this belt. It's only $50. Let me go ahead and get that. When I got it, It's made out of like a weird rubber, like I felt like I could just rip it down the middle if I wanted with my hands. And I'm talking about the lifting large belts that they sell for like $50. Usually what you pay for is what you get. So if you're spending, you know, $50 on a belt and it seems too good to be true, it's probably too good to be true. The description was very vague. I don't know if it's changed, but this was a while ago. You know, and I was younger, and I was not satisfied with what I got. The buckle was okay though. The buckle is like identical on the lifting large. But yeah, those are the belts there for you guys. I hope you guys were able to take away something from this video. At the end of the day, it's going to be personal preference. Whatever you choose is going to be, you know, based on what feels good for you. Some of you guys might see this whole video as nitpicking, like, why does it matter? They're all belts, they all do the same thing. They do, but you know, I want to feel good about what I'm using. If I don't feel good, I'm probably not gonna lift good. Alrighty, so I will talk to you guys in the next video.